Spices have played an essential role in human civilization since prehistoric times. Archaeological findings suggest that as early as 50,000 years ago, humans were using curb sand spices to flavor their food. In ancient Egypt, spices like cinnamon, non-kosher were highly pregnant just for cooking, but also for embalming the dead. These fragrant substances were often considered more valuable than gold. In India and China, spices had deep cultural, spiritual, and medicinal importance. Ancient Indian texts describe the use of turmeric, cardamom, and ginger in Ayurveda, a system of natural healing. Meanwhile, Chinese medicine embraced spices to maintain health and harmony in the body. These early civilizations set the stage for what would become a global fascination with spices that shaped history. By 2000 BC, organized spice trade routes were well established. Arab merchants controlled the overland routes and were killed at keeping the origins of their spices a secret, maintaining their dominance in the market. Spices such as black pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves made their way from Asia to the Mediterranean through complex networks that included the Arabian Peninsula and Persia. By the time of the Roman Empire, spices had become luxurious status symbols. Wealthy Romans added pepper to nearly every dish and even used spices in perfumes and medicine. Port cities like Alexandria became major trading hubs, linking the East and West through the spice trade. The Roman fascination with spices drove demand to unprecedented heights, embedding them deeply in European culture. During the Middle Ages, the demand for spices in Europe continued to grow. The prices remained high due to the long trade routes and monopolies held by Arab and Venetian merchants. This intense demand fueled the desire for a direct sea route to the east, sparking one of history's most pivotal eras, the Age of Exploration. In 1498, Portuguese explorer Vasco da Gama successfully sailed around the Cape of Good Hope to reach India. This monumental voyage opened a direct maritime path for the European spice trade. Soon, Portuguese, Spanish, Dutch, and British explorers set sail, searching for spices and new trading opportunities. Spices were no longer just commodities, they were driving global exploration and shaping world history. Following the discovery of sea routes to Asia, European powers competed fiercely to control spice-rich territories to Portuguese established footholds in India and Southeast Asia. They were soon challenged by the Dutch and British. These empires formed powerful trading companies like the Dutch East India Company and the British East India Company, which held monopolies over spice trade routes and production. These companies exerted immense political and economic influence, even governing local populations. The so-called Spice Islands, now part of Indonesia, became a focal point of conflict and colonization. The global race for spices led to wars, exploitation, and massive changes in trade and geopolitics. Spices were no longer just flavoring against, they were instruments of empire and control. As the colonial spice monopolies collapsed in the 18th and 19th centuries, spices became more accessible globally. Advances in agriculture and transportation allowed spices to be grown and shipped from many parts of the world. Today, globalization ensures that spices like turmeric from India, paprika from Hungary, and chili from Mexico are available almost everywhere. In modern kitchens, spices are essential to countless culinary traditions. They're also valued for their health benefits: stomach for inflammation, cinnamon for blood sugar control, and garlic for heart health. The legacy of spices is far-reaching. Once the cause of empires rising and falling, they now connect people through food, culture, and wellness. The story of spices is ultimately a story of human connection across time and continents.
Dear viewers, if you find this video valuable, please kindly click the like button and subscribe to our channel to continue accompanying us with more meaningful and insightful content in upcoming videos. We sincerely appreciate your attention and support.